I'm very happy to open this webinar and thank everyone for taking the time to participate, the participants, and of course, our speakers. In the recent years, Hanita Lenses has been completely focused on developing advanced premium technologies. We believe that this is exactly what our customers expect. Today, we're very proud to present our patent-pending new generation IOL, the Intensity. Our speakers for today will be Dr. Jean-Pierre Rosenbaum. He will be talking about the technology behind Intensity. Professor Ehud Astia will speak about his study and the clinical results. And Dr. Pierre Bouchou will speak about the patient expectation versus intensity values. At the end of these three presentations, our R&D team, Iman Khouri, which developed the Intensity lens, and Alex Mailarov he's the head of R&D, they will both give answers to your questions. In order to ask these questions, you will find at the bottom of your screen this line, and over here, this icon will help you to ask your questions. You can push the button, ask the questions, and at the end of these three presentations, they will be able to reply to your questions. I'm sure we will not be able to answer everything, but we'll try to make the best. Thank you all for joining us. And we will start, as I said, with Dr. Jean-Pierre Rosenbaum. The stage is yours.
I'm very pleased to be with you and to participate to this presentation, which is in fact an international presentation around this new lens, which is a very new concept of multifocal diffractive IOL. So in France, we began the clinical evaluation of Intensity IOL, and our first results were excellent. Unfortunately, we had to stop these trials because we had COVID crisis, but we will go on as soon as it will be possible in the next 2 weeks. So the first message I would like to send you, it's that the only way to obtain distance, intermediate, and near vision is to have diffractive IOL. If you inject EDOF, you will have good distance vision and good intermediate vision, but the only way to obtain all this distance, intermediate, in near vision is diffractive IOL. Diffractive is a complex system. You have to understand that in diffraction, on each point, a part of the light will not be deviated. We call it order 0, and it corresponds at the refractive effect of the lens. For example, if you have IOL 22 dioptry, the order 0 will correspond to 22 dioptries power. A part of the light is deviated in orders in different directions called orders. We have order 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And in IOL optics, we use order 1 and order 2. A part of energy is lost. There are orders over 3. And we try to limit the energy loss to obtain the best results. Multifocal diffractive IOL, we need in trifocal or more to have several diffractive gratings, and so we have constructive and destructive interferences. To avoid energy loss, we have to use constructive interferences, but we have, of course, angular constraints which conduct the concept of the IOL design. And so these angular constraints explain why in the classical trifocal IOL, the intermediate distances is the double of near distances. As you can see in fine vision, in at ELISA, from Zeiss, and all other. Even in the new Triumph DVI profile, in which we can observe that near vision is plus 3.5 dioptry, and intermediate vision is 1.75. Now let's see the specification of the IOL we are going to speak about. Its intensity. Intensity as a diffractive area, 5.2 millimeter, with spherical aberration minus 0.13. I will say that the diffractive surface is at the posterior face of the lens. The intensity is a totally innovative concept. It has been designed to create a new concept to obtain energy gain, 93.5% of energy, which is the most important of the market, and also to break free the physical constriction of where focal points are. How is it possible? It's possible by use of iterative algorithm to obtain optimal profile. In fact, the focal points are predefined with energy degree we want to have in different distance, in different focus, and in different light energy. The system is called DLU, Dynamic Light Utilization. And this conduct to obtain this profile of the intensity, in which we can see smooth shape with 9 steps around a central ring, 0.5 millimeters. This creates a continuous full range vision, and the steps height will vary along the lens radius to optimize energy in the different light conditions. As we see, we distinguish 3 main zones which allow better performances for different pupil size. The spatial division of the zones help to get higher MTA value at far vision for large pupil, and this is very useful in driving night condition. We can see now it's very interesting to see the repartition. The light repartition is this lens, and this is totally new. We have equivalent of 5 foci which permit to obtain highly quality of vision in every distances. It's important to understand that orders are symmetrically distributed around order 0. You can see 80 centimeters, order 0, which represents the refractive effect of the lens. At the beginning, I've told you if power is 22 dioptries, the order 0 will be equivalent of 22 dioptries, and this lens is centered on the intermediate vision. But the algorithm permits to conserve a very good quantity of energy in every distance, in distance vision, in far vision, in near vision, and also we have 2 more foci in distance intermediate vision and also in intermediate near vision. This permits to obtain this very good MTF response, and as we can see, the repartition in all the distances with a percentage of energy very important in far, intermediate, and near, and also in far intermediate and near intermediate vision. And this is possible. All this is possible to obtain this 5 focus, because this IOL is the IOL on the market will keep more energy with 93.5% of energy and only 6.5 energy lost. Thank you very much. And it's now a great pleasure for me to give to Professor Eudacia the floor. He has conducted trial on intensity IOL. He's going to give us the results of his study.
And I will talk about my clinical experience with the first experience with these lenses. These are my disclosure. I would like to acknowledge that I'm a consultant to Hanita lenses, and this is on other companies which are not related to this presentation. So we did our clinical study, the first clinical study, and our objective, the primary goal was to evaluate the vision, both monocular and binocular, far, intermediate, and near vision of the intensity lens. And as the secondary goals to measure the defocus curves and the patient satisfaction by a questionnaire. This is a prospective single arm, single center, single surgeon, an open label study, which was done to evaluate the safety and efficacy of the lens. The population was just simple patients who require cataract surgery and then no other ocular pathologies. So the inclusion criteria included patients aged 45 to 75, which are pretty young. The mean average age of a patient doing cataract surgery is about 75, so it's a bit younger patients, which can benefit more. We desire to have bilateral cataract surgery, normal axial lengths, normal K readings, and astigmatism no more than 0.75. We did not use toric lenses. Patients were motivated and no other retina or any other ocular pathologies. So far, the study was designed to have 20 patients and 40 eyes. So far, we had 17. We have now even more. We did just this week 2 more patients, so we have just a little bit more than what we can see here. But altogether, we had 17 patients, and most of them were done with both eyes. We still have some more to go. Now we are facing the coronavirus crisis, so it may take some time, but we are on the way to finish. Look at this number, 1 month, both eyes. We have 11, and we will come back to this number again later on. Spherical equivalent of these patients was slightly myopic, minus 0.25. They had not the best vision with a normal K reading, cylinder 0.5, and normal axial length. Now, this is what we can see during surgery. And what is special in this surgery is that there is nothing special. This is a routine, simple surgery like any other operation. The platform is that of the C-lens using the regular cartridge. It can come also preloaded. You can see on the background that I like to use anterior chamber maintainer, but this is definitely nothing to do with this lens. And that lens is advanced and injected into the eye using the Hanita visco of 1.8. So this is a routine surgery, routine implantation, nothing really special. It's centralized very nicely, quite easily. And this is at the end of surgery. The lens is well centered. We have experience with so many thousands of these lenses. And this is the second, one more eye with a cataract at the end. This is a lens. We can see the diffractive circles. And after implantation, a very simple routine cataract surgery with this lens and the platform that we are using. We also use the A constant, as we know is effective for the C-lens, which is 118 to 119. 118.8 to 118.9. This is what we use for all the lenses. This is what the lenses look after 3 months, routine, regular surgery. So now let's look at the performance of this lens. Spherical equivalence, the average was minus 0.23. We targeted to minus 0.15, which means what it was almost to the spot, 0.08 difference. So we believe that the A constant is correct, and we can continue with this A constant of 118.8. What is the visual performance? The uncorrected distance, 6/6.69, intermediate, 7.9, and near, 6.4. Now, this is something special, and I would like to elaborate about this near vision even more. These are the corrected vision, which makes it even better. This is a 6/6 line, so everything below is better than 6/6 and above is a bit less. So the distance was better than 6/6, intermediate 6/7.5, and near again 6/3. And this is corrected on both eyes, which make it even better. Low number of cases, but still distance 6/5, intermediate 6/6, and near 6/3. Now this is something which is very unique, and I've done many hundreds of multifocal, trifocal lenses of various companies. And one major problem with all of these lenses is the near vision. Patients are not very happy with the near vision, as they complain about this near vision. And in this lens was something which was very, very unique, that the near vision was exceptional. It probably gained more energy than any other lens, probably because of the specific design of the lens, in which the order 0 is not a distance, but on the intermediate, so there is no more energy goes to the near vision. This is a defocus curve. The blue line is one eye, the red line is 2 eyes. This is a 6/6, so everything that is above this line is better than 6/6. So as we can see, from 40 centimeters up to 6 meters and more, the line of both eyes is higher than 6/6, which is an excellent performance, and it's also very flat, so it works at all distances almost equally well. Contour sensitivity, everything that is within here in the white line, white area, this is a normal. So as we see, photopic and mesopic are both inside and all normal looking at all range of spatial frequency of 3 to 18. What about the questionnaire? We have results of only 11 eyes. So there were questions about driving, day, night, cooking, and so on. There is 2 special questions which require very high performance. And this is this question here, which is knitting and sewing, which is very delicate to thread a suture right through the hole of a needle. And this reading very small letter like IFU in instructions for use of medications. So these are very demanding questions. As we can see, for most questions, there was no difficulty. And also for this very high task, that require more skills, then we can see that it was just slightly below the maximum. So this lens really did very, very nicely. Difficulty in color perception, depth perception, even driving at night or seeing at night was not a significant problem. Also no diplopia. The only 2 things is these 2, is the glare and halo, which some of the patients did notice. And we noticed it again and again. When you ask the patient, do you have any problem? He says, not real problems. When you ask, do you have glare or halos? The patient said, okay, now that you're asking, then I may see it from time to time. And time works. I mean, the glare and halo goes down with time. No adaptation really works. It's not a miss. And oftentimes when you do the second eye, patients say that now with the second eye, I see the glare and halos that I used to see in my first eye, and they are gone. Physics didn't change. It's the same physics on both eyes. The fact that he sees now in the second eye what he did see in the past in the first eye, this is actually the definition of neuroadaptation and how the patients get better for about 2 to 3 months. The satisfaction in regard to having glasses for distance, intermediate, near, they never use all these patients. Still, this is small numbers. And as for are they happy with the results? Most of them, 9 out of the 11 are very satisfied, 2 were satisfied. And would you choose it again? All of them said yes, they will choose it again. So just to summarize, this is a very promising new design of a lens. It provides very good and very nice spectacle independence in these pseudophakic patients, and they are very happy. And again, I would like to emphasize 2 things. 1, near vision is exceptional. as compared to other multifocal lenses. And the second eye, that this is only a small number of cases, so we still need to see what will be in the future. But these initial results are excellent. The focus curve is almost ideal. Visual acuity is 6.6 in all ranges. Patients are happy, and I must say that as a surgeon, I'm also very happy. We still need to look at the bigger numbers and to do some fine-tuning. A constant probably is correct, as I mentioned earlier in my presentation. So I would like to congratulate Hanita lenses for a very nice lens, and I think this is a very promising lens. And it's now my pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Pierre Bouchot, who will talk about patients' expectations versus intensity values. Thank you very much.
Professor Assia, we have two questions from the crowd regarding your presentation. Would you like to answer right now or at the end?
Anytime, as you like.
Okay, so the first question was, did you check effect of glares on mesopic contrast?
Yes, I think we show it in the no, we measure contrast sensitivity. As for the glare in mesopic contrast, I'm not sure that we had both. We have either glare or contrast sensitivity, but I'm not sure that we did both of them at the same time.
We had a contrast sensitivity in mesopic conditions, one of the graphs that you have showed, yes.
Second question from the same doctor, Smita Shah, I think it's from India. Did you compare with previous available multifocal IOL in respect to contrast?
Well, I use so far, I mainly use the Physio lenses, but I also use the Panoptics, I use the Zeiss. I would say since our numbers are small, like I would not say better, but they're definitely not inferior. So I probably, it's at least comparable. But
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Pierre Bouchot, the stage.
I will continue this nice webinar by I'm trying to explain what is the position of this IOL on the market. Because, you know, this is my financial disclosure, that today we use a lot of IOL for many conditions. The first one is the cataract, and many patients want to reach presbyopia correction at the same time today. It's a current surgery. Patients trust a lot in this surgery. It's very high safety, and patient wants to have a good quality of vision and want to take care of their presbyopia in the same time. So the cataract, it's a real opportunity for them to become free of glasses. This is for the cataract patients. And we have also the patients who are coming to see you for the presbyopia. They want to be free of glasses. They don't want to continue to be presbyopia people. And the number of cases are increasing every year. But this kind of patients have a lot of high expectations. They want a safe procedure and they want a quality of vision, and it's always the same word, quality of vision. They want a low rate of disturbance. They accept the surgery, they want a surgery, but they want the quality of vision. So they want to be able to see far, near, and also now intermediate, because the way of life changed and they use a lot of laptop, they use mobile phone, and they don't want only to be able to read a newspaper, they want a continuous vision, they want to be able to see in the night, to drive, and we need, of course, new IOL with a low rate of glare and halos and dysphotopsia, of course. It was in the mind of the people, this kind of things, because in the past, IOL provide a lot of disturbance for presbyopia correction. But at the moment, everything changed. Of course, you can see, for example, with a pinhole target, the PSF of the intensity and the Panoptics. We have always some halos with diffractive IOL, but today, the halos are less than before. because of the quality of optics, because of the quality of the surgery, and because of the quality of the calculation of the power of the lens. So with everything, we can reach a very good result. For example, we can compare different diffractive IOL, La Teresa from Zeiss, Fine Vision from Physiol, Panoptics from Alcon, and Intensity. And if you use US target force, you can measure the quality of vision in distance, intermediate, and near. As you can see with the red bar, the quality is very good. And if you can compare those IOL, you can see that the intensity is one of the best on this kind of analysis. And it's this for 2 millimeters, but with 4.5 pupil millimeters. We have also a good distance vision. That's not, it's very important, but not so bad. And for intermediate and near is very correct. So the quality of vision increase with the new generation of IOL. And now we can offer to our patients this kind of the surgery with not too much problem. Always patients expect this independence of glasses and the intensity with the high level of intensity of the light, 93.5, it's very important, allowed this. We saw a few minutes before with Dr. Rosenbaum the technology of the optics, and that explained that we can propose, suggest this kind of IOL for young people in the presbyopia correction. And also we have to keep in mind that emmetropic patients are always very expecting a very, very good distance vision, and that's important. So on the market today, all new implants, diffractive claim for more or less for either label or continuous vision. Is it a marketing effect? More or less. In fact, we need today IOL matching with the patient's expectation. If you have a pure EDOF, of course, you have a low disturbance, but the limitation for near vision is important and we can't predict the vision. But with the new diffractive refractive optics, we can have a very reliable result. Intensity by Hanita, the aim of the presentation today, and we can compare this IOL with the new diffractive IOL in the market, and we have the Synergy from Johnson & Johnson, for example, the new Fine Vision Triumph from Physiol, and the Panoptics Alcon. The intensity and the Synergy provide a good continuous vision, and it's, I think, a plus for the patients because they don't need to adapt their position to see the laptop or to see the screen of the computer. With a trifocal or quadrifocal, you have a good vision for near, of course, for intermediate and for distance, but sometimes patients need to adapt the position to find the more comfortable position for the intermediate vision. And we have not this with the new lens like Intensity. I can show you some defocus curve, and I can compare, this is a personal defocus curves for Synergy, Panoptics, and Intensity, and you can see that all those new IOL reach a very high quality of vision. But the intensity is a little bit more effective for near vision, and the curve is really, really very flat, and it's a very impressive. So with this new dynamic light utilization, we have less fatigue effect, of course, less loss of contrast, and a good far and near vision with a continuous vision. This is very important to know because when you want to make the choice for your patient, you have to think with the quality of vision, and also you have to think to suggest an IOL to be able to fit to every still of life. You don't have to think, oh, these patients need more reading vision, this one need more distance vision, and the other one need intermediate vision. No, with Intensity, you are able to provide all all distance vision with a high quality. And I think it's very convenient for the surgeon and it's very safe for the patients. So intensity in our new practice, because of course our number of people with this intensity is not very important at this day because of the COVID, but there is a low rate of disturbance and the predictability and the reliability of the diffractive IOL is present and it fits to all people. So we spoke about that a few minutes ago. It's a C-loop platform, very easy to use, very good centration and very good stability, and we can use and you can inject this IOL through a 1.7 millimeters incision. It was very easy to inject. Okay, very easy to put in the cartridge. It's a C-loop IOL. In the cartridge before removing, you can see the rings, you can see the haptics very easily, and it's a very classical cartridge, very easy to put. You have to take care of the haptics, of course. And in routine, you can inject this IOL through a very small incision. You will see. You put everything. You can check also the position of the IOL in the cartridge. It's very important to be safe with the haptics. You can charge and download at the end of the cartridge. And then with the classical injector, you can through a 1.7 millimeters incision with wound assist injection. As you can see, it's very easy, very safe, and the IOL is coming in the bag. So, as a conclusion, we have a very good visual outcome with our cases, of course. We have a low rate of this photopsia, very rare halos. Our patients are very happy, and they are always waiting for the surgery for the second eyes, because unfortunately, because of the COVID, we had to delay it. So it's a very promising IOL. We have excellent early result also. Optic and technology fits to all patients' expectations, and that's very, very important. And I think it's a new paradigm for the presbyopia correction. So thank you very much, and special thanks to Hanita's team for this excellent organization. And I give back to Michael to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Assia. Thank you, Dr. Bouchou, and thank you, Dr. Jean-Pierre Rosenbaum. I would like to answer some of the questions. We were asked many questions. We will not be able to allow all the answers right now, but we've chosen 2 or 3. We have raised hands. We'll try to first answer the questions. Iman, the developer of the lens, will join us by video. Hello, Iman.
Good evening. Hi.
You can all open your videos, the presenters, if you'd like to join us. The first question we were asked is, what makes it possible to achieve such high light efficiency? In one presentation, it was shown the high efficiency, and they would like to know how it was possible to maintain.
Actually, what enables us to do that is using the new technology, the DLU technology that was presented in one of the presentations, the dynamic light technology. It is different from the other standard lenses. It's an iterative algorithm which we define the desired energy distribution between the foci, and the algorithm runs hundreds of times until we reach the target distribution. In this method, we get a very special profile with smooth steps that gives us this maximal light utilization. And in addition, as Professor Assia mentioned, We have the zero order in the intermediate. This also gives us the maximal light energy utilization.
Thank you very much. Second question we have here is, does intensity have apodization?
Okay, it's a very good question. It doesn't have a apodization in the standard meaning of the word, like the decreasing of the energy from center to periphery, because it doesn't have a standard surface shape. But we have optimization for different pupil sizes by dividing the lens into 3 zones with different light distribution at each zone, and combined together, we get the performance, maximal performance for each pupil.
Thank you. One more question we have. Some of the questions are anonymous, so I'm not reading the doctor's name. We have a non-anonymous question from Dr. Herman Martinez Osario. I hope I said it correctly. What is the target of the IOL calculation plano plus 0.5?
There's no final answer for that yet. Currently, we recommend using the targeted refraction around minus 0.1, but this is not final.
Okay, thank you very much, Iman.
I think it was a very interesting presentation with a presentation of all the qualities of this new IOLs, and we were waiting the end of the confinement to go on the trial, because the first results, and I had video of some patients some patients I've operated, and results are very satisfied. I hope that we will increase quickly the numbers of per patient operated with this lens, because I am very now what is interesting is to be in confidence with some when we use multifocal IOL. Almost when it's a new technology, you know, I spoken a few 1 month ago in Eilat with Eudacia, and he has explained to me that we had a very good intermediate and near vision. And when I began to operate my patient, I observed, of course, that very good intermediate and near vision, but they have also, as everybody, as Ehud has told us, that they have good, very good distance vision also, and it was a good surprise. Also, what I wanted to say, in the not many numerous patients I've operated, but I observed that in post-op, when we do autorefractometer, we obtain minus 0.5 or 0.75. And I saw at the first time, I saw, yes, I will have a good near vision, and probably distance vision will be low. And it was not the case. It was the case because patient, we had an autorefractometer minus 0.5 or minus 0.75, and that patient have good vision. So what we obtain in autorefractometer is not the real power of post-op results. And I think that for the next IOL, I will operate in next week, in the next few weeks. The target will be plus 0.1 or plus 0.2. I think I do. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I think I will try to show this target.
If I may add something to this calculation of the A constant. In the early days of multifocal lenses, we were told that we should aim to first plus, 0.15, 0.25, or to emmetropia. And then, I mean, with time, we just gradually change to the first minus. And in these cases of the intensity lens, we went to the first minus, 0.1, 0.115, 0.2. And I think that we are correct. This is what we should do. We should target emetropia and just a little bit to the first minus. It also may help the intermediate and the near, and it does not compromise the distance vision. So if you ask me what I would choose for this lens, I would go to straight emetropia or the first minus in the choices. As for this, how do we define this lens? We usually define multifocal lenses as bifocals or trifocals or extended depth of focus. But this is actually it's a new definition for this lens because it is pentafoci or polyfoci, because it's not just 3 definite foci, but there are also in-betweens. So it is more kind of extended from distance to near in all foci. So I believe that polyfocal or multifocal would be the good definition and not just trifocal. And I believe that this is because of the specific design. The idea to target order 0 at intermediate apparently was a good choice. So we can spread the light from intermediate to the far and to the near on both sides and get the advantage on both, because again, near vision is a very common complaint in multifocal lenses. And I, at least in this number of cases that we did, but it's all almost 30 eyes or 40 eyes that we are, almost 40 eyes that we do, near vision is apparently exceptionally good.
Thank you very much to the participants and to the panelists that managed to join us today. If we didn't answer some of the questions, it's because the time is limited. I suggest that you either contact us via our website or your distributor in your country, and we will be more than happy to answer all the questions related to this new and a very exciting product. Thank you very much.